like this, but now I'm coming with a new plan. Gonna take a stand, gonna find a way to change the game. You tell me that I should stay, trust what you say, and that's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
Thanks for joining me on a show that truly celebrates the bow hunting lifestyle like no other. If you're a serious bow hunter who is passionate about the sport, then this show is definitely for you. Because like many of you, I believe that archery, it's more than just a hobby or a pastime. Archery is simply our way of life.
Since I was 10 years old, I've been hooked on knocking the stick to the string. At that early age, I fell in love with bow hunting whitetail deer and quickly learned that success in the stand only came from being able to close the deal during that one moment of truth. To better prepare myself, I gravitated to competitive archery for the sole purpose of becoming a better bow hunter. I quickly realized that I'd in fact been blessed with the ability and talent to shoot a bow, and from that time forward, I've had the desire to teach others everything I could about archery and bow hunting because of the satisfaction and joy it's brought to me and my family. My everyday life, well, it's filled with writing articles, taking photos, testing product, coaching others, and staying in shape for my next adventure in the field. My archery road has been long and fulfilling, both bow hunting and shooting competitive archery around the globe. Still to this day, my most valued trophies are the memories made in the wild with my bow in my hand and spending time with my many friends and family members who, like you, love to knock an arrow and watch it fly.
Knock on TV is my effort to capture that lifestyle of the bow hunter and the dedicated archer. So buckle your seatbelts, it's time to knock on. Yeah, dog. We're on our way to Kansas, and right now I've got the laptop. I've got all the maps from the website. I got a Kansas tag, and we're gonna do a little do-it-yourself hunt. Just went and bought a map here of this area, and we're gonna hunt walk-in land. And we're only about, from my best guess, we're only a few miles from the walk-in land. And here's just a really nice buck right out here with a hot doe 100 yards off the road. Tell you what, stay tuned. Kansas, it's, right at the middle part of November or just before. Finally have some cold weather coming in here, and man, what an amazing buck. Amazing buck. Check that sucker out. Stay tuned. Hopefully we got a buck that big coming at you from Kansas. It's going to be a good week indeed. Knock on TV is also brought to you by Under Armour, Yamaha Outdoors, and Nikon, the leader in sport optics. Now, whether you're a die-hard bow hunter or a top-level target archer, I can tell you that the first thing that you should do on every single shot is check your stance. If your feet are not in the correct place, then I can guarantee you that arrow is most likely going to have a different direction each time you pull back and let that arrow go. No different than any other sport, athletes must check their stance before that shot. In golf, think about it. If your feet aren't lined up to that green, there's no way that that ball is going to go that direction. You know, you have to look down at your feet, make sure that your feet are in line with the target, because your stance, whether it's open stance or a closed stance, will have an immediate effect on this front arm and this front shoulder. The more you happen to close your stance, say you're shooting across your body, the more you bring the shoulder and front arm in the path of the string, which could cause an error. So before every shot, look down at your feet, make sure they're parallel to that target, whether you're in a tree stand or in a target line, and I guarantee you it's going to put more arrows right down the pipe.
Tell you what could be better than having a big buck on camera? We checked our scout cameras, and guess what? Big old buck on there came into a new spot this morning. We jumped 2 deer coming in, which we were a little bit kind of bummed about that, but about 15 minutes later, 2 deer came by. One was about a 115-inch buck, one was a hot doe. Came through here, made a big old loop around our stand, and headed east right at first light. So man, what could be better? Having a hot doe making a button hook. Right here in Kansas, November. Tell you what, knock on, baby, this is when it's gonna happen. Check it out. Old green and orange, that's my last one. Last one, that color combination has pounded some deer this year. And man, cannot be more pumped. Got my man JJ behind the camera. Yeah, dog, let's do it. Let's do it. Kansas, let's get it done right here. Knock on, baby. Monster bucks. Are you kidding me? I've waited 23 years of my life for this buck. Oh my God, dude. 23 years of my life for a buck like this. I don't know how big he is. I think he's pushing Boone. That thing was huge. Right there. The carbon matrix. Put one. Firepower. Yeah, dog, let's go check out my big daddy. Yeah. Yes.
Here's a recon tip that's going to help you have more success. When I go into an area that I've never hunted before, or an area where I have lots of choices for stand locations, what I'll do ahead of time is I'll print off a topo map or an aerial map and mark all those different locations where I think are most obvious as key areas within that particular hunting zone. Then what I'll do is I'll take a camera and put them out the first day in each one of those locations. After I've hunted 1 or 2 nights, I'll travel to all those cameras, pull the cards, and let what I see determine where I'm gonna be for that 3rd day of the hunt. In Kansas, it worked out perfectly. We pulled cards and we knew that we needed to be in a different stand, and for that 3rd morning by 11 o'clock, we had a big old Kansas buck in the back of that rhino. So hopefully apply that tip, you're gonna be more successful in the field.
Right there. You talk about the coolest bow in the world and the biggest buck of my life. Yes. We've given him about an hour. I had to shoot right under that one branch. And to be honest, all year long, every deer I've shot, I've had blood at the site of the scene. We watched the footage back. I hit him a little bit high, but it made the loudest crack, and I'm hoping that I hit that offside shoulder and went down. So it's we know he crossed right through this. My arrow. Good. Oh yeah. There you go. Check this out. Oh yeah, that's good. Look at this. Look. Check this out.
Closed captioning provided by Trophy Taker, the maker of the world's best fall-away arrow rest and the Shuttle T-Lock broadhead.
Great achievements have a way of creating even greater expectations, especially when the achievements are greatly unexpected, like an uncompromisingly rugged hunting binocular built to defy the elements, yet whose high-resolution optics also defy dawn and dusk. The all-new ProStaff 7, outdoor life's great buy for 2011. It's what you'd expect from Nikon at a value that is unexpected.
Tough place. That's why you need a side-by-side that's even tougher. The 2012 Rhino 700 Fi from Yamaha. The toughest, most off-road capable side-by-side out there. Rhino. Real world tough.
Dude, it's in. It's freaking boonage. Dude, look at this. Come here. Come here, JJ. Sit down. Oh, dude. Kicker off the G2. Look at that sucker. Oh, what a freaking brute. Monster bucks. Monster bucks. Are you kidding me? Right there, double D style. Right there, Hoyt Carbon Matrix. Easton Tracer Knox. Right here, through that Nikon rangefinder on that sucker, smelling. What a beautiful animal. Oh my gosh. He's amazing. Isn't this thing a tank? Dude, look at that thing. What a freaking monster. Oh my gosh. What an absolute beautiful buck. Absolutely beautiful. Yes. Right there is why we spend time in the woods, sacrificing our time, our families, putting up with our habits, our just, my wife, bless her heart, has been listening to me talk about monster bucks, and I finally just smoked an absolute mega toad. Look at that. What do you think of that thing, JJ?
That's a hog.
Is that a hogzilla?
Oh yeah.
That is a hog freaking zilla. This week's tip is going to be about putting yourself in the correct position to make a shot in the one shooting lane that you have, because that's exactly what happened to me in Kansas. I was in a new area. I wasn't able to cut a bunch of lanes, so I had good shooting lanes. I literally had to deal with what Mother Nature put in front of me. And what a lot of people make the mistake of is they're so focused on watching that buck come through the area, they don't really pay attention to where their shooting lane is, and more importantly, putting their body in a position to make a good, proper shot in the shooting lane that they have. Now, this right here is a perfect example, okay? We're in thick timber here, so, you know, very dense timber. Literally, we have the target in the one open area that I would have to make a shot. If this deer was traveling through this area right here, that's the one place that I can make a proper shot. Now, I've been behind a lot of people with a camera, and I can tell you that I've watched a lot of people spend their time watching the deer the whole way, and they're not prepared for when that animal hits the one shooting lane that they have. So this week's tip is, once you know that animal is going to go through a certain area, go ahead and immediately find your most obvious shooting lane and get your feet in the right position and be literally knocked and ready to rock, because as soon as that animal hits that shooting lane, you need to be ready to go. Another thing I can tell you is try to pull back before the animal is in a perfect position, especially if they're walking. If you pull back once they're in the lane, then chances are by the time you get anchored, you're looking through your peat properly, and you get your pin to the target's already gone past your shooting opportunity. That's another reason why shooting a bow that has a peak poundage or a higher let off, so that you can stay at full draw slightly longer, would be an advantage to you. So this week's tip, position yourself before your animal gets to the lane. Make sure you're shooting a bow that you can comfortably hold for a little bit extended period of time if you have to, so that you can make a perfect dead center shot. So hopefully that helps you out. This is not easy with you. Listen, everyone has their faults. Mine is my nose always runs. I normally have food in my face when I eat, so as far as all my friends tell me, that's the only thing wrong with me.
Dude, this is like a movie or something, man. Seriously, this isn't even real.
Like a light bulb flashing in my head, memories flow through my consciousness, and I feel, and I feel, and I feel, and I feel.
Alright, baby. Double D. Made a perfect shot. And I'm telling you, dude.
Dude, I'm so
Gonna put some new Hoyts to work.
Thanks, babe. Such an excellent turkey caller. And your hen impersonation.
Sweet dude. Knock on, that says it all right there.